Hi, Virginia with Book by Barthel Travel here. Today's video is going to be an educational video on travel to Cuba. Cuba has become a hot topic in the last year or so as the relations between our country and Cuba have softened. Currently, U.S. citizens are allowed to travel to Cuba, but only for cultural and people-to-people exchanges. These tours have been land-based tours, and I've had a lot of clients come to me and say, oh, we really want to go see Cuba before the big cruise ships go in this spring and, ruin the whole authentic Cuba experience. But I was at a conference last week and I got a little bit more information about these cruises going to Cuba, and I think you might be surprised. They're not what you think they are. You're probably thinking of the large cruise ships that have 3,000 to 5,000 people on them and are going from island to island in the Caribbean. And it's basically a fun vacation, beaches and discos and casinos. And that's not what the cruises to Cuba are at all. Actually, the company that I learned about last week at my conference was Fathom Cruises. And they have one ship, and it's got a 704 passenger capacity. And it's doing 7-night cruises from Miami to Cuba. That gives you 4 days in Cuba in 3 different cities. So you have an overnight in Havana, a night in Cienfuegos, and then a night in Santiago de Cuba. Now the difference between a land program and the cruise program is basically that you're spending your nights on the ship and not in hotels in Cuba. Now that may or may not sound good to you, but I will tell you that the hotels in Cuba are not like the hotels in the United States that you might be used to. So staying on the ship may not be such a bad thing. The cruise portion and the experience that you're going to get on this cruise ship is nothing like the experience on the large cruise ships. They're very educational. They're offering workshops and lectures on the Cuban culture and how we can help the Cuban citizens come into the 21st century. All of the cuisine is going to be focused around Cuban cuisine, so you're actually getting the full Cuban experience without being on the ground in Cuba for the entire time. The other nice thing about the cruise is that it's actually running about half the price of the land tours. So starting at around $2,000 a person for the 7-night cruise, and that includes all of the tours and all of the meals. So you're getting quite a bit for your budget there. Fathom also has cruises to the Dominican Republic. It's the same 7-night itinerary or time frame, but it's a different tour. It's an impact travel tour where you actually are going to go into the Dominican Republic and have the opportunity to help with a community service project, whether it's helping the local people figure out how to get clean water, or helping them put concrete over their dirt floors, which is going to help them maintain a healthier living style. So that's an impact travel tour, whereas Cuba is more of the cultural exchange tour. If you are interested in traveling to Cuba on one of these tours, or if you're interested in more information on Fathom Cruises, I'd love it if you'd contact me. You can reach me at 845-810-2747, or you can go on our website, bookedbybarthel.com, and find more information there. I hope that this has helped you understand a little bit more about how you can travel to Cuba and how the cruise lines aren't going to be ruining the authentic experience. Thanks!